So today we're going to be setting up this Squier Classic Vibe Jaguar. Stay tuned. Yes, good people, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing a bit of work setting up this Squier Classic Vibe Jaguar that I recently won on an auction on eBay. I paid £233 including shipping. So I weren't really looking for one, but it came up cheap and I thought, you know what, let's put a cheeky bid in, and I managed to win it. So she is pretty clean. It's got a little bit of wear on the pick guard, but yeah, no big chips or dings that I can see. There's a bit of a scuff on the bottom there, looks like a bit of white paint's clipped it, but it's not gone through the polyurethane finish, so I think we could polish that out. So I've just been having a little play around with it, and the setup is a bit out of whack. The action is mega low, the floating tram is doing a floaty thing, which I don't particularly like. I like these locked into place. Did come with a wheel stick, but I don't really use them, so we'll put that to one side for now. But yeah, it's minty fresh condition really, and yeah, I just need to put some new strings on because these are, I believe the original strings, they're 9 gauge, they sound flat and they're mega thin. Got some regular slinkies 10 to 46, which I prefer to use on 24-inch scale guitars. So yeah, we're gonna take the strings off, clean up the fingerboard. We'll set the action, check the truss rod, that kind of stuff, do the intonation, adjust pickup heights, all the good stuff, and generally give it a good clean up. So yeah, let's get them on the bench and start doing a bit of work. Right, so first job is to get the old strings off. Now don't be tempted, just snip the strings off when it's in tune, because you can damage your truss rod doing that. So make sure they're loose. And that will do the job, so snip them. And get rid of the old ones. Right, so plan of action. Yeah, oh, there is actually a bit of wear on the frets there. Somebody's been pretty much playing your open chords. There's a bit of wear there on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, so there is a little bit of fret wear on it. Pretty much mostly where the G string was, so somebody was quite heavy-handed, but we'll get away with that. That should be fine. Yeah, wear and tear. So plan of action. Has that still got the protective film on? No. So the first plan of action is going to check the neck relief, and yeah, that's pretty much perfectly straight, if I'm honest. Slight little bit of relief in there, but we can work with that. We'll see how it goes once we put the strings on. So that's all good to go. Yeah, I reckon give it a little bit of a clean up. We'll just go over them frets with a fine sanding sponge just to get the bit of debris off the top. But like I say, that fret wear, we'll keep an eye on that, see how we go. But here's, like I say, it's a 2021, so it's had a bit of wear, which just fell out. Yeah. Right, so I think what I might do first is clean the body, clean the headstock and the neck, and then we'll Put a bit of moisture into that Indian laurel fingerboard because these do tend to dry out. Right, what we got? We've got some little bit of Gibson guitar polish left, so we've got to be a bit frugal with that. Give her a good wipe down. Yeah, it's got a few surface marks on it, but you expect that with a 4-year-old guitar. At least it shows it's definitely been played. But the setup was, the action was really low, flat to the fingerboard, so it didn't really play too good. And with that floating bridge piece, and I get a lot of people moan that when I stop them from floating, it's like it's not how it's supposed to be, you know, they're designed to float. But the thing is, the tuning on these is pretty bad, and once you fix these into place with a bit of electrical tape, it doesn't affect the resonance, but it really does help with the tuning. So yeah, let's shine her back up. It's looking better already. Now, I've had many of these on the channel before, and Jaguars are one of my favourite guitars. My favourite is the Jazzmaster, but these and the Mustang do come a close second. That's looking better already. Right, that's good. I think I'll give that a bit of attention quickly while I'm here. Okay, so for this little bit of paint, I'm just going to use some G3 cutting compound for car paint. And I'll put a bit of that on, and that should hopefully disappear. Yep, there you go. All gone. So there's no boo-boos on this now. Sweet. Right, so I've got a fine sanding sponge to get rid of the top layer of grime on the frets. Yeah, that's better. Like I say, these frets that are worn a bit, we'll keep an eye on them. Hopefully we've got no sharp frets, but if you want to smooth your frets off nice and easy, fine sanding sponge at a bit of an angle there, and just rub it along the frets, and that will smooth out any frets you got and round over the edge of the fingerboard there. But these are pretty good. Right, that'll do. Then we're going to get some lemon oil, put a bit of moisture back into that fingerboard. Yeah, these Indian laurel fingerboards that Squier use now, it really is a wood that dries out pretty quickly, and this probably will take 2 or 3 coats. Just rub that in with your finger. all the nooks and crannies. Alright, so we'll leave that for 5 minutes, rub it down, and then add some more. Sweet. Okay, so we've left it about 5 minutes now, and it ain't really absorbed in much, so I'm presuming, yeah, we're nice and nourished as is. It's looking good. Alright, sorted. That's that done. Right, so I reckon what we're going to do now is get the strings on. So yeah, regular slinkies, 10 to 46. Right, that. Oh, actually what I need to do before that, stick a bit of electrical tape around that. Right, so this is something I've been doing for many years now, and people, like I say, they moan in the comments that it ruins the resonance of the guitar. Yeah, no it doesn't. So you want enough just in there, so when you put it in the hole it shouldn't wiggle around, so that's going to need a bit more. You want it to be a nice snug tight fit. That's perfect. Right, so that's nice and solid now, and put the first string in. Right, so we've got the string pulled through all the way. Now with vintage style tuners, what you need to do is cut the strings 2 tuners away from the one you're using. So snip that there. And then get the string down in the hole right in the middle of the tuner. Bend it down around, lock that into place, and then tighten her up. And as always, my string binder is not to hand. Bear with. I got it. Yeah, right. Yes, keep that locked into place. Keep an eye on your string at the other end, make sure it's going in the slot on the bridge. And it's in the slot on that nut there, and that's that done. What I need to do now is repeat that for all 5, but when you get to these last couple of strings, say that's where your tuner is and you want to count 2 up, so what you do, pull it back 2 and then snip it there. Right, so we've got the strings on now. I'm just going to quickly tune it up. Right, so what I want to do now is stretch the strings. So what I do is hold it with my thumb, give them a little tug, go for all your strings like that, and then tune it back up. Straight away, let's drop down to the C sharp. Then after that, you keep stretching your strings, tuning them up, keep stretching until it stays in tune, and then that's your strings fully stretched. Right, I've got to go and do a school run quickly, so I'm going to do that, and then we'll come back and we'll carry on with setting it up. I'll be back. Right, I am back. I'm just checking the neck relief, and we are 0.25 millimeter on the 8th fret, which is perfect. So you need to normally get a capo on the 1st fret, push down the 1st fret that meets the body, and then check the gap around the 8th fret, and yeah, that's pretty much good to go. So string height on the low E side I want about 1.5 millimeters, and on the high E side I want 1.25. So probably not a good idea where my sun is, but it just needs to drop down a little bit that side. Up a little bit on the low E. Yep, we are perfect. So I need to tune it back up again. Now this is a 2021 classic vibe. These come out in 2019. When they first come out, I made a video, which would have been 6 years ago now, saying that the tension on strings was too loose, and your low E string would wiggle about a bit. And then I sold a 2023 model Jaguar Classic Vibe to a friend of mine, Dan, who watches the channel, and we worked out that around 2023 Squier had adjusted the neck pocket so the neck sits higher. There was a different break angle, and the bridges sat a lot higher, which corrected that issue first, putting more tension on. Now this is the earlier one before that, so we have got a little bit of a wiggle on it, but if it becomes a problem, I'll put a shim in the neck just to increase that angle, and it raises that bridge up, putting more tension on the strings. But yeah, like I say, we'll keep an eye on that. But neck relief's done, string height's done. Next we need to do intonation. So what you want to do with intonation is, so on the low E string, strum that open string, and on the 12th fret, which is the octave, strum that, and then check us miles out. So you have little screws on the back of the bridge there, and you adjust these saddles either in or out to make it sharp or flat. That one's got to go all the way back. So yeah, it's a trial and error thing, and again, in between each movement, make sure you tune it all up, and then that's your intonation done. So I'm just going to quickly adjust them. Okay, so we've got the neck relief done, we've got the string height done, intonation done. I'm going to need my amp for this, so I'm going to have to go and grab that in a sec. But what I do with pickup height is a case of balancing the pickups out in terms of the volume. So the bridge pickup, that's where I normally start with, and I'll get that as close to the strings as I can just before the magnets start pulling the strings in. So I've got this jacked up. That's probably about right, to be fair, and always have the high E side pickup just a little bit higher, just so it picks up a bit better. And then what you want to do is, when you've got your amp plugged in, switch between the bridge pickup and the neck pickup, and what you want is the volume levels the same. So if you've got the bridge pickup is sort of like a nice even sound, and then you go to your neck pickup and it's either too loud or too quiet, you need to raise or lower your neck pickup to match the loudness of the bridge pickup. It's really that simple. So yeah, there's no specific measurements. Every pickup, every guitar is different, you know, whatever your preference is, but that's pretty much what I need to do. So I'm going to go and get my amp, balance them up, and then I think that's all we need to do on it. So yeah, I'm just going to get my amp ready. All right. Nothing like being organised. Okay. Skitty. Guitar lead. That'll do. Yep. Right, let's plug that in. Make sure we're tuned up. Not that it really matters at this moment. That high E string sounds a little flat. I wonder if that's due to that bridge I was on about, because the break angle from the bridge to the vibrato is, yeah, not a lot on that at all. So I think I will need to come back and shim this neck. Right, so we've got bridge pickup, neck pickup. Neck pickup's way lower, so we need to lower that a bit. And just be careful with these screws that come on these guitars, because they're made out of monkey metal. They're not the best. A little bit more. Now the neck pickups on Jaguars do sound quite a bit fuller than the bridge pickups, so it can be a bit deceiving with volume. But I've done loads of these in my time, so it's like I can kind of tell. Just do a little bit louder. That's good enough, I reckon. So I think what we need to do now is give her a little test run. Let's go with neck pickup. Both together. Right, just bridge. we'll do now is go into the rhythm circuit. So that's just that neck pickup on its own with a darker capacitor in it. Right, now we're back to clean on that rhythm circuit again. And then neck pickup on the lead circuit. Both together. And then just that bridge pickup. Right, that'll do. So yeah, she's all good to go. Another eBay bargain, so I may do another video of this one, but yeah, easy setup, running good now. Like I say, I may need to come back, sort out that neck relief to get a bit more of a brake angle on that bridge, but yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So that'll probably do for today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, The Guitar Manifesto, and I'll catch you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Peace.